All right. So how are you? How are you? I need some coffee. Hold that thought. How are you? Come back. Come back. Hold on. Okay. 1 second. Yes. There was a song that's in my head. Is this one for the people? Is this one for the Lord? Or do I simply serenade the things I must afford? You can jumble them together. My conflicts still remain. Holiness is calling in the midst of courting fame. Anybody? Know what I'm singing? Or what I'm speaking? Anybody? Some of y'all know. Father, please forgive me, for I cannot compose the fear that lives within me or the rate at which it grows. If struggles have a purpose on the narrow road you've carved, or do I dread my trespasses will leave a deadly scar? Anybody? What if I sing it? What if I stumble? Hey. What if I fall? What if I lose my step and I make fools of us all? Will the love continue when my walk becomes a crawl? What if I stumble? And what if I fall? Yeah. Good song. Good song. DC Talk. That's what some of you were thinking. DC Talk. Old school. Man. I care when I say, how are you? I don't know if everybody, I feel like most of us don't. You know, and maybe I don't all the time, but I feel, when I say, how are you, I want to know. Because if you are rejoicing over something, I want to rejoice with you. You know, if you're sad about something, I want to be sad with you. I'm your brother, right? If you want to vent, I want to pat you on the back and tell you it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right, right? It's going to be okay. Shh, shh, shh. It's going to be okay, right? I want to be there for you. How are you? But I don't know that we always feel like we can be open, honest with everybody of how we are. Even me, I'm a worship leader, for those of you who don't know. And been doing this for a long time. And, you know, I get on stage and I'm like, go Jesus! Jesus! Right? Every Sunday morning, or whenever it is I'm leading worship. And it's always genuine. But I'm not always in that place emotionally, really, you know. But it's part of my job. I have to do that, right? There are times when I'm just like y'all. Because I see some of y'all out in the pews. You look rough. You had a rough Saturday night, maybe a rough Sunday morning. I don't know. But I see you. And sometimes I feel just like you feel. But I can't show that. I can't get on stage and be like, ugh. I got to be like Jesus, right? But I feel that sometimes. And thankfully, most of the times I'm in, not all seasons, but most seasons, I'm able to express how I'm really feeling. And I hope everybody has that as well. Not always. I've had some seasons as well where I can't really be that. And that makes me sad that people are like that. I met with a married couple, it was a few weeks ago. Well, I met with them individually, I guess, and together. Regardless, their marriage is struggling. And they were telling me everything that was going on. And they both done some things. They're not proud of. And they don't know what to do. And in our conversation, I was wondering, why didn't they go, because they're churchgoers, why didn't they go to the church? And they didn't really give me an answer, a direct answer at least, but the indirect answer was they didn't want the backlash from the church of everything that they'd done. So they didn't feel like they could be themselves in this low place that they're at, so they just kept pretending. When they went to church, that is, they kept pretending. Their church attendance declined, but when they came, they had to pretend. They felt like, they believed that they had to pretend. And that just makes me sad, man, that you can't be yourself, or that you can't be yourself in a low time, or even in a high time. You want to rejoice with people, that you're not with a community where you feel like you can do that, especially in church. I understand the world is cynical and judgmental, but in church, we should be there, right? It makes me sad when we can't. Here's my Bible. Lamentations. We're going to go to chapter 3, verses 20 through 24. I well remember them, and my soul was downcast within me. Yet this I call to mind, and therefore I have hope. Because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. I say to myself, the Lord is my portion, therefore I will wait for him. Great is God's faithfulness, amen? No matter the times, the low points, the seasons, and our sin, whenever, great is his faithfulness to us. Even in the high moments, the joy, the celebrations, great is his faithfulness. We all, you Christians out there, know you have some testimonies at heart that you share, that I hope you're sharing, of God's faithfulness. But church, we are God's hands and feet, his mouthpieces. We are to be just as faithful to one another as God is to us. The hard times, the joyful times, even the sinful times. To not push people away, to not make them feel like they can't come to us for help. Let's be honest, these times, especially holiday times, there's a lot of people out there who are in pain. And that shows a lot more in these times, and we need one another. We need to be intentional with these communities that we're forming. We need to be intentional with our families. We need to be intentional with these friendships we form, these partnerships we form, that we be faithful. Not just faithful to what we're doing, but faithful to each other. Amen? Faithful, God is faithful, so faithful. God is faithful, so faithful, so faithful. So what if I stumble? What if I fall? What if I lose my steps and I make fools of us all? Will the love continue when my walk becomes a crawl? What if I stumble? And what if I fall? God is faithful, so faithful, so faithful. And God is faithful, so faithful, so faithful, so faithful. Yeah. Wreath behind me. Christmas.